7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake. Farmer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scatterbo. Scatterbo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scatterbo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. He gets no going back. Now the drag. What's up and down?
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. What is the haps, my pitchfork lunch peeps? Happy Thirsty Thursday. Yes, we're gonna get some of that Sun Devil thirst quench because it was an awesome night for volleyball. As they were able to get the victory last night in Orlando, taking on UCF. Guys, phenomenal. One step closer. There's a thing posted that they can already be co, and I'm sorry, because the team that they would be co with, they beat. There is no co. When you get beat head to head, I'm sorry. And if you wanted a banner or a championship from that, you're not a competitive athlete. Sorry. No. Now, if you didn't play each other, and it could have come down to a zillion different tiebreakers. Maybe you beat somebody they didn't. They beat somebody you didn't. That I can understand. But yeah, they are one step closer to being crowned back-to-back Big 12 champs. So that is very exciting. But yes, I am Michael Carrasino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. As you can check out So Live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. I know you know this, but also you can go to the wonderful world of IG and check it out there as well. Again, don't be bashful at Michael.Carrasino.5. You see my names at the dot between first and last name, and then after the last name, the 5.5, and you're good to go on IG. But you can also go to the wonderful world of YouTube, guys, which, I mean, you should watch. You should watch it live there, as we are well into season 3 now. Watch live on YouTube, but also subscribe to the channel, because if you haven't been watching, again, where have you been? Shame on you. But, I got you. And you can catch up and win a variety of bonus shows. Look at it that way. Yeah, you can go to YouTube and, again, watch live, but subscribe to the channel, because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, as we call them here on Pitchfork Lunch, because, again, innovation is what Sun Devils are about. That being said, whether it be, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, a wonderful athletic director who we're going to have on in December. Got to get through, again, this little sprint in November, but yes, we will have him on next month. And so yes, it'll be absolutely awesome for you, because you can binge watch season 1 while you're still watching season 3, and then keep watching season 3, binge watch season 2, because a lot of the con reviews that we've had, guests have been on more than once. So again, not going to ask them these same things, and again, obviously things don't present themselves the exact same anyway, as Sun Devils. But that being said, again, a lot of interviews it'll start to connect and make sense. So that being said, go to YouTube. You know how to get to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Carrasino, but my page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And guys, like I said, subscribe away, because you have missed a plethora of stuff. And, I mean, come on, we got a lot of, obviously, coaches and alum coaches. And, it should just be this feeling about it. This is how you should feel about going around through Sun Devil Nation, because that is what we do.
I'm from Arizona, Jerry. I broke Arizona records.
Rod.
I went to Arizona State.
Rod.
I'm a Sun Devil, man. I'm from Arizona.
See, exactly. That's how you should feel about it. Anyway, that being said, but again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, watch live, and subscribe to YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And yes, subscribe away, so you can, again, be all caught up And again, when it comes to finding out about, all the good stuff like recruiting and all that, I reach out to people because following recruiting in one sport, let alone multiple, is literally a 24/7 gig. Because if you're doing multiple, all the signings and stuff like that. So yes, I wanted to go inside, but and there's already a ton of people way ahead. And not that I don't keep up and see who's talk to some people, but the in-depth level, it is just awesome what people do. So, but anyway, we're going through it. You're seeing who's here now, what they've been doing, what these teams have been doing. And speaking of that, the volleyball team, like I said last night, they took down UCF in 3, which is absolutely awesome. They took down UCF in 3. And they are now one step closer, my friends, to one step closer to being back-to-back Big 12 champs. So, and they swept UCF in Orlando on their home court. It was insane. 3-0, 25-19, 25-18, and in the third, they just said, we want to get on our flight to Houston even earlier. So 25-13 in the third. 49 kills for the Devils. They hit 406 as a team. They hit 519 in the third set, which was insane. Insanely awesome, I should say. They had 4 aces last night, 12 blocks. Bailey Miller, led the team with 12 kills. Tatum Parrott had 11. Talking about her, again, you see, guys, I know being around the team, just talking to a coach and seeing stuff like it's just, again, absolutely awesome. But 11 kills for Tatum Parrott and Noemi Glover, 11 kills for her, 8 for Colby Neal, 4 for Kyla Presley, 3 for Ella Lamagora out of the middle. So, guys, absolutely awesome. Sydney Henry had 23 assists last night. Bryn Covell had 13. Bailey Miller had 4 assists. Tatum Parrott had 1. She got another. Kyla Presley had 2. Ella Lamagora had 1. And Faith Frame, the libero, had 3. She had tied for lead with 9 digs. Again, you play 3 sets, but 9 digs, as did Bailey Miller. Again, look, I understand completely. It is, to me, it is just an insane race because Noemi Glover, again, how she's been playing just, all season. But I mean, started out hot, injury, came back, is just crushing it. Bailey Miller, those two should be first. Those two should be first team all Big 12, hands down, not even close. And I would say that Bailey Miller, I mean, again, if Noemi Glover, Bailey Miller, all Americans, I mean, I don't know. And again, I don't do the voting, and I'm just saying, look, and it's not homework. Look at what they do. There is a kill, though. One of the kills Bailey Miller had last night, and Noemi Glover started this, but if she was just a millimeter opened up, either way, different. That ball is either long or out. The block came over late. It was a beautiful set by Sydney Henry, a nice push set to the outside, to the pin. But Colby Neal was in between, and so she started approaching, going up. Well, that froze obviously the middle, and The middle got over just a little bit late. The outside blocker was up, and she just elevates and crushes it. And, I mean, it is down just inside the line. And, again, if she just opens up a teeny bit more, and that is just the skill, guys. Absolutely sick. But, look, Naomi Glover is definitely first-team All-Big 12, I mean, what she has done and how she has delivered. But you have a 6-rotation player like that. And, look, go ahead, hit me up in the comments. Call me a homer. But you are not going to find – you'll find other 6-rotation players in the Big 12 that'll play well, but none of them. And, again, it's not just about looking at the numbers. It's how you play, how you deliver. But if we look at the numbers – I'm going to say there's no other 6-rotation player that is has the numbers that Bailey Miller does. She is just insane. I mean, when you look at it, 6-rotation, like I said, kills. We all know she is now, well, a little closer, but still over 300. Naomi Glover has 332 kills on the season. Had she not missed, let's see, she missed 19 sets. She's averaging 4 kills a set. So what? 19 times 4 is 76. Yes. So 76 more right now puts her over 400 kills, which is just insane. Just taking the average, right? But still, 332, three matches left, and these very easily could all just go 3. So yeah, I mean, she could finish with 375. She could finish with about 375. Naomi Glover this year. But Bailey Miller, my point is, look, second on the team in kills, 314, right? Insane. 96 sets, 3.27 a set. Phenomenal. But then when we look at service aces, who's first in aces? Bailey Miller with 31. Bryn Covell, so real quick, has 20. Sydney Henry has 18. Colby Neal has 16. Ella Lewis has 15. Tatum Parrott has 14. Julia Neal has 12. Like, again, that is now 131 aces on the season. They have 218 more than their opponent. They allow their opponents. So they have won one match plus 2 sets and 6 points of a third set just on aces alone, guys. That's just mad. That's insanely awesome. Again, it's not even about getting geeked up about stats. It's when they delivered. Watching them do it is just phenomenal. So Bailey Miller, again, second in kills with 314. First in aces, right? First in aces with 31. Heck, she's fourth in assists with 30. And again, you wouldn't expect it because the top 3 are obviously playing a 6-2, meaning that, and I haven't said this all season long, so I apologize to the non-volleyball aficionados. Playing a 6-2 just means that the way you're serving rotation, they're actually playing 2 setters. But Sydney Henry, setter, 643 assists on the season. Bryn Covell, 393, the other setter. And the one that you figure would be in third would be the libero at times, because, again, both Bryn Covell and Sydney Henry, big-wise, have done a heck of a job, too. But Faith Frame has 73, and like I said, Bailey Miller has 30. So fourth on the team in assists, which, I mean, for obviously a hitter, it is not a big number, but 30, but that's pretty awesome. And then when you look at and then when you look at Diggs, Faith Frame, of course, 294. The libero was done again. Just this girl. I mean, big shoes to fill. Obviously, with Devils had last 2 years, and Mary Stroll was, again, absolutely phenomenal. But Faith Frame, 294 digs, right? Who's second on the team? Bailey Miller with 243. second in kills, first in aces, second in digs, fourth in assists. And then block-wise, so block-wise, leading the team, Colby Neal, again, transferred from Oregon. Chilean's older sister's done a phenomenal job. She has 144. Ella Lamagora, the other male, has 108. Noemi Glover, 92. Again, this is why this kid is definitely, I would say, probably Big 12 Player of the Year. But yeah, 92 blocks for Glover, and then 48 for Kyla Presley, and then Bailey Miller has 45. So fifth in blocks. So if I'm saying for a 6 rotation player, there's no way she's not first team all Big 12. She needs to be first team all Big 12, hands down. I mean, I think you definitely could have three. I mean, Colby Neal, obviously Noemi Glover, Colby Neal, and Bailey Miller. So to me, again, you're in first place there, and people say, "Oh, well, you know, there's very good, damn talented players in the Big 12." I'm not debating that. I'm just saying Glover, and I'm just saying Bailey Miller is definitely first team all Big 12, and Noemi Glover. A lot of would have two, but I just think in All American wise, I mean, first team All American, I could definitely see Glover getting that. Second team, Bailey Miller. I mean, again, now you're going throughout the country. So, yes, I'm crunching numbers, yes, is one thing. And analytics and Coach Van Neal's using that, and it makes sense. But at the same time, when you look at it, guys, it's one of those things where they have those numbers because they're delivering. They have those numbers because they're delivering, and but the way they're delivering and they're able to deliver, I mean, just again, absolutely awesome. And they're physical, this team, but yeah, Bailey Miller, again, Noemi Glover, I mean, I've said him like hands down, she's first team all Big 12. I mean, every time, if they somebody's on a run, I would say, maybe not 100%, but 99.999% of the time, they go to Glover and she will stop a team, if the team's got on a streak or not, whatever, either way. But that is, again, absolutely awesome. So again, they beat South Florida, or Central Florida, UCF, pardon me. They beat UCF 3-0. They said, Miller, again, 12 kills to lead the team. She also had nine more digs last night. So both her and Faith Frame, again, like I said, 9 digs. Sydney Henry, again, your setter, has 8. Bryn Covell also had 8 digs. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just the chemistry and getting to know each other, the transfer portal. I mean, again, all the players are transferred in. I mean, you have a Tatum Parrott that transferred in. You have a Noemi Glover, a Colby Neal, a Sydney Henry, a Faith Frame. So it's like, you look at it. And then, I mean, the game changers like Coach Van Neal has called them on the bench in practices. They go at it. They definitely go at it. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's phenomenal to see. So, anyway, they got the win there, hit up a little bit more. But, let you know what they have coming up, too. And then, football, guys, taking on West Virginia. Men's hoops tonight. Wait, okay. How about that? Men's hoops is taking on Hawaii tonight in Hawaii, as you guys know. I've told you a lot. So, yes, they are taking on Hawaii, and that is at 10 p.m. our time. And people say, are you kidding me? Like, Gonzaga was at 9. Why is it 10? Well, guys, in Hawaii, it's only 7 o'clock at night. So that's why. yeah, so it's yeah, they're 3 hours behind us. So that's, I mean, again, they're 3 hours behind us, but yeah. So 10 p.m. here. It will be on ESPN Plus. Those of you, that feel like staying up on a Thursday going into Friday, rock on. I say you do it. But yeah, ESPN Plus will be on 98.7 FM also, Sirius XM 385 or the Sirius XM app. So again, you have tons of way to do it. But and then they go to the Southwest Maui Invitational, which is that's Thursday, and then Monday. But they're obviously just staying. They're not going to fly to Hawaii, fly back to Arizona, and fly back to Hawaii. Yeah, so that would be obviously insane. And then you play Texas on Monday, they said, and then the winner of that will play the winner of Washington State or Chaminade. And then Wednesday the 26th, so that's 3 straight days. And then they come back home. Well, they come back home, but then they don't have another game until December 6th. So, again, get a little break, get back. I mean, again, people say, oh, athletes, but still, it's not professional. It's college. Big difference. Well, sort of. The difference is shrunk, right? I know. We're not going to get into that. But, yeah, so very Hawaii on the season, though, by the way. Hawaii, the men's team, obviously, they are Hawaii. Why are they not in my notes? That's annoying. Hawaii. For some reason, everyone else is in my notes, except for maybe it says no. It doesn't say. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy. Why is Hawaii? Okay, so Hawaii doesn't exist as a university, I guess, even though it does. No, they're in the big. My bad. Okay. The Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii, who are in the Big West, they are 4-1. By the way, they lost their opening game to Oregon by 1 point, 60-59 in Eugene. And then they took on East Texas A&M. They beat them. They took on Mississippi Valley State. They rolled past them 88-56, and then they beat Manhattan 86-56. And then they played Utah Tech, as did ASU. Everybody's got Utah Tech in common, and they beat Utah Tech 60. It was a close game, 68-62. So yes, they are 4-1 right now. Sorry about that, guys. I'm like, again, I knew I had it, but yes, they are in the Big West. So by the way, ASU has that while we're talking hoops real quick before we go to break, and we're going to hear from women's hoops coach Molly Miller after the break. I have some depressing news when it comes to men's hoops, not for ASU, but a lot of you might have known last night that the number 4 team in the country, which resides in Tucson, is that team down south, took on the number 3 team in the country, which is UConn. And guess who won by 4 points? Yep, the team down south. I will call them Arizona here. I tipped the cap to them. Didn't, thought that, but Tommy Lloyd. And I mean, UConn again had their chance, but Arizona went toe to toe with them. Jaden Bradley had 21 points. Go Pete. 16 points, 12 boards for a 5-star freshman. Yeah, he won and done at the number 4 team in the country, which took out number 3, which I'm thinking, it was just happened on Wednesday. So, of course, Arizona has another game. It was 35-33 Arizona at half, and then they outscored them by 2 and 2. Yeah, each half. 35-33 in the first half. Arizona outscored UConn 36-34 in the second half. Koa Pete played 37 of those minutes, had 16 points. He shot 50% from the field overall, 7 of 14. Didn't take any threes. He was 2 of 4 from the free throw line. But 16 points, 12 boards, 3 assists. He only committed 2 fouls. But 50% from the field, kids. And Koa Pete puts in 16. Jaden Bradley, like I said, led the team. He played 35 minutes. He was 6 for 13 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, 8 for 9 from the charity stripe, which overall Arizona was at 76% from the free throw line. But it's, again, they're in the Big 12. Pitchfork Lunchers, it pains me. I know you guys know that it absolutely pains me. But I got to give them their props because they are now Dan Hurley ripped up the stat sheet. And again, his team, let's see. Oh, turnover wise, I will tell you this. Turnovers, the Kitty Cats had 10. They had 5 more than UConn. UConn only had 5. UConn had 15 assists to only 9 assists. That just sounds crazy to me. And only 15. That sounds whatever. Okay, but rebounds. ASU would dominate on the boards. U of A just smashed them on the boards, 43-23, guys. But UConn, was and then they shot 50% from the free throw line, which that's why Dan Hurley, Bobby's brother, tore up the stat sheet because I'm guessing frustrated with that, and they still had opportunities to win. It's a 4-point game. So, but Arizona is now 5-0. And 1-0 away. UConn, that was their first loss. They're 4-1 and 4-1 overall, 3-1 at home. So they go to Arizona goes to Stores and they get the victory. So 71-67. Let's see. Oh, no. The a new number one. The power rankings on ESPN. It says the Wildcats added another statement went to their early season resume, headlighting the top 25 risers. Power rankings. Yep, Arizona is number one in the ESPN power rankings as yeah. So let's see. Arizona and ESPN has their rankings at 1, Purdue's at 2, Houston, another Big 12 team at 3, Alabama is at 4, UConn is at 5, Louisville at 6, Duke at 7, Michigan State, they're 4-0 at 8, Florida's at 9, Arizona. Wow. So Florida's loss and UConn's loss. Who's that to? Yeah. So basically, it is unfortunate. Arizona would really have to take let's look at their I don't know. They beat Florida and they've beaten UConn. So let's see. Who are their other 2 wins in non-con play? They're 5-0, as is Oklahoma State. Well, hey, basketball's treating the Cowboys much better, so I'm sure fans are a lot happy. So Arizona, Oklahoma State, Utah, West Virginia are all 5-0, and then you have Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa State, and K-State at 4-0. You have Baylor at 3-0, and then you have UCF at 4-1, and then ASU, BYU, Texas Tech at 3-1, and then Kansas is at 3-2, and TCU is as well. But for Arizona, that's where, again, non-con. So, they opened up beating Florida 93-87. Then they played Utah Tech, crushed them 93-67. Then they played, they played NAU, and they won 84-49. They took on UCLA. That was a close game. UCLA is number 5. So they've beaten number 3. Well, at the time, number 3. They beat third-ranked Florida at the time, and then 15th-ranked UCLA, 69-55, or 65, pardon me. And then now they have beaten UConn, who's number 3, 71-67. Yeah. Then they take on Denver, Norfolk State, but then they go then they play number 22 Auburn. And then number 11 Alabama. Wow, back to back. And both of those are in. Wow, they're home for a long time. Both of those are in Tucson. Wow. So anyway, but nonetheless, so they got 22-11 back-to-back. Then they play Abilene Christian, San Diego State, who's always going to be tough. Bethune, South Dakota State, and then they start conference play with Utah, K-State, TCU, and they're hosting ASU on January 14th. That's the first one. So, yes, that is an unfortunate update. I told you it's not all rainbows and unicorns, and obviously, not all rainbows and unicorns there for me, as you know I'm not. But we're going to take a break, and we're going to have more rainbows and unicorns because women's hoops, they are taking on UNLV, who's been, again, a solid team the last few years. I think they won 3 straight conference titles, regular season conference titles, been tournament 3 out of 4 years. So, they have Coach Molly Miller, and the Devils have that coming up. So we'll step aside. We'll hear from Coach Miller on the other side as we have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
Audio Jungle.
Coach Jonathan and Caleb Moore are two players that were carried over from last year to this year. What has been their biggest impact for your team so far this year?
They've really bought in, and I told them, I know you didn't pick me, and I didn't necessarily pick you initially, but here we are, and now we're picking each other, and that's really cool to see that they've got a lot of faith in what I'm doing, and I've got a lot of faith in them as returners and buying into their role, and I've challenged them, especially Jaya. Jaya's really been open to some feedback and what she needs to do for this team, and she's buying in. The cool thing about this team is they won't let one person kind of stray away. So, and you don't want to be the outlier, right? No one wants to be the outlier not doing what the team culture is supposed to do. So Jaya and Nick have been really good in that, and they're just great people too, really good human beings.
Hey, Coach.
Follow up on that, did you say anything kind of when you first got here to convince them to stay or kind of lay out your game plan?
Yeah, no, I told them the expectation, and I was like, and if this isn't for you, I understand, but the standard is going to look a little bit different. And good, bad, or indifferent, it's going to be different, right? There's new leadership. So they heard me out on that, on what it's going to look like and what the expectation is going to be. And I said, if you're all in, you have a clean slate with me. Like, there's no past preconceived notions of what you do on the court, off the court. You get a fresh start. So I want you to take the advantage of that. And they did take that opportunity.
Hey, Coach, it's good to see you. So you got your 300 win as head coach last week. How does it feel to accomplish something like this while building a new trajectory of the program for the Sun Devils?
What I remember most about last week was my kids, my biological kids, Crosby and Cy, mixing and mingling with my basketball kids, and them celebrating together, and them riding on shoulders and playing card games, stretching. Like, the wins are nice, but those core memories that I have with my family was traveled on the road with me. My basketball family is there with me. So I'm happy for this team. I'm happy for this team. I'm happy for my family and how it's all blending together.
And what have you seen from Gabby Elliott so far as well? She had a double-double against Santa Clara on Sunday.
Yeah, I would take Gabby on my team any day of the week, and she's a gamer. She loves the game. She knows how to score. What's great about her is her pace. So we go frantic on defense. We're go, 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 go. But Gabby has this knack to be able to turn the intensity and go 100 miles per hour into a pace and tempo that you can read. She understands when she needs to post up, when she needs to shoot the three, when she needs to take it on the bounce. She's really headsy with that. So she's a great veteran leader for us.
What's kind of stood out to you the most about this team in the first couple of weeks of the year?
They're fun to be around. There's so many personalities. I really enjoy, even if you look on social media, they're rooting for each other. So a clip comes out and it's a highlight on McKenna Brackens. I've got everyone like reposting that and rooting for one another. So we all really are on the same page right now. And it's early, but if we can be on the same page right now, I can imagine what that builds into. And we're just going to get better. Like, defensively, we're nowhere near my expectation of where we want to be. But they're really challenging one another in practice. We've got a great group of practice players. I probably don't tell my dream team thank you enough. I'm just on them all the time. But there's a really big connectivity with this group. And when you have that and you're not fighting those culture issues, then you can build something beautiful on the basketball court.
When you look, like you said, defensively, I mean, it's early, but they're far from where you want to be. But just to the point of all that time you had practicing, but now early on in these games, how do you feel that the defensive chemistry is with when the players are out there?
It's good. We're learning. There's some organized chaos within the defensive brand, and there's nuances to that we're figuring out. But they're playing hard. Now there's some nitty-gritty technique things that are bothering me that the details and the minor details will continue to improve on. But that's all I can ask right now is that they play hard and they fly around.
Going back to what you kind of said about your family, this last year has been crazy for you, going from making GCU nationally known to now starting 4-0 at ASU. How would you describe what the recent stretch has meant for you and your family, and just kind of reflecting on the last year? What has it all meant?
It's been a special transition. And first, Winston Gandy just got his first win as the head coach at GCU. So shout out to him. Many more to come after that. But for me personally, taking this journey with my family, we're such a tight-knit group, and there's a lot of my time that's occupied in this job. But for them to be around me and along me on the road trips and by my side, it takes away some mom guilt. And I think the welcoming at Arizona State too, it became like an instant family for me. I've never seen a group of head coaches so connected, and that's a testament to the culture.
When your three-point shooting took off like it did in San Diego and the offense in general in both games, is there something you attribute that to? Because you would think maybe that would happen more at home than on the road.
Well, one, finding our shots within the offense. We're kind of learning where we're getting shots, and that's going to be a working document till March, is figuring out who's getting shots where and what's the best shot to take in different scenarios and reading defense. We're just getting better in the offensive scheme. So this is still new to them right now, and the more comfortable they get with knowing where they're going to find their shots, that's just going to be consistent. Taking the right shots at the right time, we've really focused on that, so that's an evolution as well.
Molly, that Santa Clara game gave up like a ton of threes. They attempted a ton of threes. Is that kind of the game plan going into it? And then when they kind of pulled back, just that resilience and that never die attitude from the team, what was like the message going on during those timeouts?
Yeah, there's a lot of takeaways. I mean, good scored 50 and a half. That was a great takeaway. I mean, our offense was clicking. We knew they needed to rack up threes while we were racking up all those points. So they were really letting it fly early in transition. It's like, if you got any space, let it fly mentality. They shot like 41 or 42, I believe. But so it was quick, and I think they did that intentionally. That was a way that they had a chance to beat us, is just kind of live and die by the three. And they were living there for a while on that comeback. But we needed every piece of that game. Every piece of that game. I think some calls didn't go our way, so we needed that adversity. They were making a run, and we were on the road. We needed that adversity. We needed a tight game at the end to manage time and score. We needed that adversity. Like, that game helped us so much to get to the next phase. But really proud of our kids for their resilience. They just stayed pretty calm. And in the huddles, when I came over, I didn't see any panic looked. There was some leaders saying, hey, we need to do this better, we need to do this better. There's nods, there's eye contact. So for me as a coach, that's a good sign.
Stephanie Norman, Jason Glover, a lot of experience to your coaching staff. Obviously, you've coached with Glover before. But what have they done early in the season to help your team and your coaching staff?
They're always, in this whirlwind, there's always going to be gaps and holes, and they're able to fill those for me in real time without me thinking like, oh, did we get this done? Yeah, I got it done. Like, oh, okay, that's refreshing. Or, oh, shoot, I forgot to do, no, we already took care of it. That's refreshing. So I just think in the chaos of it all and the frantic pace at which season happens, when you've got vets that kind of work ahead or have initiative or think of the problem before it becomes a problem, that's been a really smooth transition. They've done a great job.
In terms of how connected your team is early in the year, how important is a road trip like you guys had to California to kind of get away from Tempe for a couple days and do kind of some team bonding stuff, not just in teams?
Yeah, well, you learn a lot about your team. On the way to the San Diego game, they had the music blaring, some were up dancing, they were giggling. I'm like, whew, I hope this team is locked in and focused. Like, I hope this is a good sign that they're loose and not too loose. But we came out and played really, really well. And so I'm like, okay, this is the character of the team. They like a little pump up before. They like to be loose. They like to laugh before the game. I've had some teams that it's dead silence on the bus, and we've had success there. I've had some teams where they're up and dancing, and we've had success there. So just learning the personality of your team has been really fun. And then, yeah, we went to, they took a little field trip to SeaWorld and had some fun and team bonding, and they're just laughing. There was a random breakout session after film of like a line dance. I'm like, this is fun to be around. And I'm just glad they like each other so much.
When you're working to pretty much reboot the program, how valuable are players like Marley, Gabby, and just some of those other veteran players too? Not for what, just what they can do on the court, but what they're able to help some of the younger guys develop. How valuable just is that all around?
I was talking to one of my coaching colleagues, and he's like, how do you like your kids? I'm like, I really like them. Like, are they dogs or cats? I'm like, we got some dogs, And I told Marley today, I'm like, Marley, you're an outdoor dog. You're not an indoor dog. You're an outdoor dog. And I told McKenna and Poa, you're outdoor dogs. We need more outdoor dogs. So just to have that grit, because that's what I want our programs to be known for, is toughness. You're popping up, you're getting in a stance, you're doing all the tough, hard things. And that's that outdoor dog mentality that Marley and Poa and Brackens brings.
But she said after the E57 game, went to the team, she didn't seem quite comfortable yet, but now that you have 4 games under your belt and the road trip, how do you see the progress?
Yeah, I've seen her progression happen pretty quick. Elle got in foul trouble. So, it's like, when you're ready, or when we have to call your name and number, be ready. And she just stepped up to the challenge. She gave us huge minutes in that Santa Clara game. So hopefully that's a nod and a testament to her work, and that's a little bit more confidence that she has to go into the next game. And, we're really working on her. The game's a lot faster and physical. So as a freshman, that physicality can kind of be a slap in the face initially. But I think she's battling. She played a really good post player in Sophie Glancy at Santa Clara, and I think that was helpful for her too.
To follow up on that last one, a lot of those veteran players are also new to the team this year. Some of them last year of eligibility, last year playing, is on a team that's starting to reboot and everything. What kind of impact can they have, even though maybe it might only be one season for a program that's just taken off? What kind of lasting impact can some of those players have?
I mean, were you in our practice yesterday? Because we talked about that. I said we're going to come back to our 10-year reunion, and we're probably not going to talk about score, but like even if you were here for 1 year, we talk about impact. How did you impact others? How did you impact your teammates? How did you impact the foundation that we're laying for this future of the program? How do you impact relationships with professors, with staff, with coaches? So impact is almost a daily focus for us, and even if you have 1 year or 4 years, you can make a positive impact because this is something new, and you're a part of the change and the shift. Richard.
Paula came back quite quickly. How did that, and her numbers were good in that Santa Clara game. How is her hand, and how did she come back that fast, I guess?
Yeah, it's pretty tender, but we have the best doctors in the world here, and I think it's a testament to their strategy and understanding return to play. And she's an outdoor dog, remember, too, so it's hard to keep Poa off the sidelines. But once she gets clearance, it's kind of a tolerable thing and what she can tolerate and do PT in the meantime. So to have her back and cleared, we needed her at Santa Clara. So that was a bonus. Now, I didn't know if I was going to plan to play her 38 minutes, but she didn't have minute restrictions, and we were going to ease her back in. But she was ready for when her number was recalled, and she did the job.
Coach, you preach defense a lot in your scheme. Do you think to you defense is more of an attitude thing, or is it more of an execution or intellectual thing?
100% mindset. I mean, defense, I teach technique, and I can teach schemes on defense, but if you don't have the motor to play in our system, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb on that end. So defense it's an attitude, it's a way of life on the basketball court for us in our brand. So I say, this determines your playing times. If you can't get after it defensively, if you can't have that second and third effort, because 4 other people on the court will, then you're not going to find a spot on the court. So just knowing that they have to play with that defensive mentality and effort, because the brand itself is that mentality and effort, no one wants to get left behind in that. So it's definitely a mentality.
Looking forward to Saturday. How do you think like UNLV matches up with ASU in terms of their strengths and weaknesses to ASU's strengths?
Yeah, I was watching them play Baylor live, and they had them in the fourth quarter. They were up. I thought they were going to win that game, but they're a very good team. I mean, what Lindy has done there in 5 years, back-to-back champs. She's they're going to be hungry now too because they've lost 2, and so we're really circled on that schedule. They're well coached, they're disciplined, they've got tradition and history, great players. This is going to be our toughest test to date, so it's good that we have some time to prepare for it.
Where do you think your strengths match up nice?
We're very defensive minded, and I think UNLV has typically been very offensive minded. So it might be a battle of opposites. They're very athletic and get downhill. Their transition offense is probably one of the best that we'll face. They average 15 offensive rebounds a game. So it's kind of they play this style of toughness, and we play this style of toughness on the defensive end. So toughest team, I guess. We'll see.
When you have a player like Grappins that's coming from an opponent that you're facing, do you say anything about that, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, we've got a couple of those situations. We go to Penn State and play Gabby's old team. So it's like, Brackens, we got to have your back. Okay, we go to Penn State, Gabby will have your back. No one wants to lose to their old team. So I think, there's an underlying tone there too, where we want to have Brackens back.
With all the success recently, did you just ever dream of moments like this, of having such a strong start, such a strong season last season? Did you ever dream of that?
Our little coaches huddle, we're like, you guys, all we do is win. Like, we're not going to lose. So let's have that mentality. Let's move forward. Let's coach these kids up to win as many games as we can. Let's learn along the way. And I'm not naive to think that this is going to happen overnight. And really, we talk like you can't be satisfied. We haven't done anything yet. We beat 4 teams. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. So don't be satisfied. We haven't done anything yet. Let's take the 5th. It's going to be a great test and focus on that one.
So last Monday, Coach JJ McNeil spoke about the coaches' culture that they're building, especially with Kenny Dillingham and you in the mix. How's it like getting to build the coaches' culture with Graham Rossini as athletic director so far?
Yeah, we really enjoy being around one another, and I've said this before, only coaches truly know what coaches go through on the daily and the stresses that we face sometimes. And so to have that ear, and not only an ear that comes from the same place, but like a caring ear. Like, we're always asking, hey, how you doing? Or what do you think about this? And to have that really tight-knit group here has been fun, and Graham's really encouraged that. When I first got here, we all met at the Omni, and we were all just talking about things outside our sport. And there's some human aspect there too that I think Graham's done a really good job of incorporating in this work environment. And so the coaching crew's tight knit. They've been awesome.
And especially like when it comes to, you mentioned the team is not satisfied, especially like the team hasn't faced any conference teams yet. How do you look to continue building on the success of feeling that satisfaction even before the matchups between the conference teams?
I don't think you can hang on to the previous game. I don't think you can look too far ahead. Conference is a long way away. We have a lot of basketball to play before we hit conference. So right now, we are hyper-focused on UNLV, what their strengths are, how we have to prepare, how we have to get better every day in practice. So it really is one day, one practice at a time for this team. Don't look forward, don't look back, stay where your feet are.
And there was Molly Miller from yesterday. And again, get ready for UNLV. Also, she did mention that it is Zoo Day at the thing. So there are some wild animals that were hanging out. And when we first got to the court to go talk to players, check this out. This big guy. It's a porcupine right there. Look at that. What is that? And he sort of can go away, and he's like, I'm out. But yeah, you definitely don't want to grab at the porcupine there. The other cool part, before we get to Coach Arroyo, because we're gonna wrap up the show with Sun Devil football offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo. Again, has done a heck of a job. But before we get to Coach Arroyo, there was also, speaking of football, one of Clayton Smith's best friends. Yeah, one of Clayton Smith's best friends, and I have this right here for you guys. Hold on. All right, let me try something. Everyone.
Yeah, I should go to the head coach. No. Oh boy, what the heck?
All right. Yes. So sorry. Okay. So here it is.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm okay.
Everyone.
Yeah, I should go to the head coach. No.
Sorry. You're yeah. Look at that. Team. That's quite a few players holding this Burmese python, which ended up on the ground for a little bit too. And I don't know if. Oh, it also. Oh, this is awesome. You guys got to see this. You guys definitely got to see this because they were talking about the Britney Spears video, music video, guys, from a while, whatever it was, a while back. And so Coach Miller and some of the players, this Burmese python. Martina Fantini, Italian player. I didn't get a video of this, but like she's what, like 6'3"? She laid down, and it was like, wow, even like this long Burmese python. But yeah, this is insane. So it's going to be but check this one out. Check this one out as Coach Miller, good sport. You can tell it was. And you got to. I mean, they're going to sense if you're nervous, but still, this is absolutely awesome of Coach Molly Miller to do this again. She said stop by our house to meet her. I didn't know that her players saying, "Oh, do the Britney pose." Here we go. Yeah. So this is head coach Molly Miller, obviously. Look at this.
I don't want to bump in it. I'm watching you. You're actually a good traffic director.
Look at that. You doing the poses.
You never know.
Wrap around her leg.
We don't want us park anymore. We want
And you see obviously like right there to make hi to
Perfect grip on your leg right now.
Oh, hey, lady. Okay, you can look over there.
look at this, Coach, man. Coach, a great sport. I gotta say, she did it. Team did it. You know, petting the snake. Some got up and walked away, even though the workers were there. But yeah, that's absolutely awesome. But yeah, you heard Coach Sarah, talking about it. Like, it's just, obviously the UNLV challenge, but yeah, just getting on a team. It's 4 games. So after you can practice a lot and get the results in practice. Like, obviously you practice a lot, but defensively, like she's talking about. So to me, it's one of those things where you have that you're starting to build that chemistry and understanding, but again, you get in the games and stuff like that. So that's what he said. There's little things here and there, but that is the good news. So yeah, I just want to show you that. But Saturday, UNLV, it will be Animal Day. So get out to DFA if you are in town. get out to DFA and check that out because they play at 2 and then hockey is at 5. I'll be at both. Again, would love to be in Boulder for football, but a lot of one-man band in it. So, but which is phenomenal and awesome. You guys, Pitchfork Munchers, I absolutely love it. So yes, but anyway, but yeah, we're gonna get to Marcus Arroyo again. Match with Colorado here from Coach. Should hear from Coach Brian Ward tomorrow. But yes, Colorado again coming up, and Jeff Sims, 3 touchdown passes, 3 different receivers. Shimon Mateer had the touchdown pass and the phenomenal assist on the Derek Eusebio. I mean, Shimon Mateer, yeah, this is a tight end that again, coaches know what they're talking about. He's a Sunday guy. So, but let's just hear from Coach Arroyo. It's yesterday after practice, again, talking about Sims, all the report talking about yesterday coming out with, about Sam Levitt. So, yes. But yeah, here is offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo.
That's been going on with Sam has had any distraction, and how do you talk to the team to make sure that you guys are focused the way you should be?
Yeah, I mean, coach is going to address all the Sam stuff. That's my job, is to try to make sure we're under center right now, get some center quarterback exchanges after practice, and put us in position for Jeff to have another good game, and our offense to go into a hostile environment late in November and play a good football game. So I'm excited about the week we've had. They've done a heck of a job, and I'm really focused on these guys not taking their foot off the gas and being able to finish these games.
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to check in on Sam since his surgery, see how he's doing.
Yeah, love Sam. The opportunity he's had to put himself in a position to heal, and I think he's done that. So it's been great.
How are you thinking about Jordan this week and how he's going to be out there?
Yeah, it's good to see him running around today. Obviously good. Jordan's been around each practice, each game, been here, involved every meeting. It's been day to day to see him out there running around again in those donut cleats is always exciting. So again, day to day, and if he's ready to roll, we'll be ready. But again, that's on coach and on him, and obviously his health is at the first of the forefront of everything.
How have you seen Jeff grow in these last couple of weeks?
I mean, you couldn't be more excited about anybody, and I haven't been excited about someone than this long who's put that much work in their entire career to go out and at this stage have an opportunity when it's been called on to execute and do some of the stuff that he's done in the last couple of weeks has been fantastic. I mean, it hasn't been perfect, and I don't expect it to be, but he's done a really nice job, man, of not flinching and going in and executing a game plan. A lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks I think we can really hone in on and hopefully take advantage of, but couldn't happen to a better person at a better time.
He's had a difficult journey to get to this point. Does it say anything about him that he's kind of persevered through all that to get to this point?
I mean, it says everything about him. I think we've all said it, and you guys have been around long enough when he's been here, and for even when I've got here to recruit him and get him here is you're recruiting a character and a person first, and I think that never is something with our culture or with Kenny here at the program we've ever put behind the play, the person first. And Jeff's an amazing human being who loves football, who loves his team. I think at the end of the day, when you've got players like that in your team, you just hope they can put themselves in position to be athletically in a position to win some games and display some stuff in front of their player, their family and friends and locker room. And Jeff's a perfect example.
Prior to this stretch with him, it's been kind of like spots starting here for him, spots starting there. But the fact it's been multiple weeks, how has it been working and kind of progressing with him as the QB1 over multiple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned to someone who we were talking about it. When you go from being a backup, you talk about percentage of reps you get, and let's call it a 10-play rack. You're going to get 3 or 4 in a 10-play rack. The math on that, if simple math, you're going to get 30% to 40% of a practice, right? And so if you put that over the entire career, it's really hard to get really, really good at anything. Any of it, it's going to have 30% of the bulk, And so all of a sudden now you're thrust into 100% or 80% probably of a 10-play rack. He's getting 8 now, And it's like sometimes it's all 10. And I think it's just an awesome opportunity. He's a little more tired, after an entire practice, which is good, mentally and physically. But I think that the results in the game and the ability for him to be able to build the bandwidth to be able to go through and play a whole game has been really good. And we got to do it again this week and next week.
Jeff had 3 different touchdowns and 3 different receivers on Saturday. What are your thoughts on evaluation of how he's been able to kind of go through the progression and
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot about, first of all, his trust in his players and the guys around him, the unselfishness to be able to know, hey, I'm going to go where the ball's supposed to go. It says a lot about the guys around him getting open and doing their job. Like, hey, I got my job to do for him, whether it's, there's a lot of times in some of those progressions, it's the second or third read, and he's finding guys on third down or on touchdowns. So it's a really nice thing to see it being spread around to guys who are trying to make themselves available for a guy who's just trying to put it together and go through the progressions and do his job. So it's really cool to see.
You have some young offensive linemen that played really well in that last game and continue to make strides. What's it like seeing that? Makai Stewart and Makua Pule and Houghton?
Yeah, I mean, to see the young guys get out there, I mean, you don't want to have to see it, obviously, and you get to certain stretches, but part of our jobs, not looking at it in such a funnel. It's a long look at it. It's like to see the young guys and be able to project what your O-line's going to look like. You start recruiting and developing guys and going, okay, we're really excited about that as we grow. Has been awesome. I mean, to see young guys get out there right now, like I said, it's not what you hope for, but those guys are playing their tail off, man, and they're doing a really good job. For true freshmen to go in at O-line is, I mean, there's probably not much harder besides being a quarterback than a true freshman offensive lineman in a league that's hard.
What are your general thoughts on Colorado? It's been a team that's kind of struggling recently.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, they've won a lot of games last year. They've been around this. They've got a bye week. They're at home. It's senior night. You're on the road in the Big 12 at night. I mean, they've got everything right now that they need to come out and whoop us if we're not ready. And our guys need to walk in there and understand that. I think they do. So they've got the talent. They've got the coaches. They know how to play the game. We've got to go in there and make sure we take care of our business.
Is there anything unique-wise, scheme-wise, that is unique from their end?
Yeah, not unique to overall to football. They're gonna play man coverage, and they're gonna be able to rush the passer. They're not gonna be shy about showing what they do. They're gonna try to lock you up and press and play that stuff. I don't know. There's some change-ups in there. They'll play some zero, and you got to be ready for that. But no, I think there's nothing crazy. They take ownership of what they do. What you're going to see is what you're going to get. They're going to play man coverage. They're going to play man coverage, and that comes from the top down. I think probably. So we got to be ready for that, and our wide receivers got a good challenge.
Bam, defensive breakdown from Marcus Arroyo there. And again, even talking about Jeff Sims, like you said, I mean, and the coach talked about from the beginning, even spring ball, obviously, after he was back for spring ball. So he's here last year, and then spring ball starts and he's here, and, he just says, hey, and he says, Jeff Sims talked about his family being his support system, and talk about it with your family. And Coach Shillingham was saying, he's like, yeah, people think I'm crazy. He said I had two Sunday quarterbacks, and he goes, I believe I absolutely do. So yeah, for Jeff Sims to have that, and like Coach said, a little more tired, getting some more reps. Maybe mentally, I don't know so much physically, but he could definitely run. And he definitely throw the ball. Because I said it from the beginning. Remember, a lot of you Pittsburgh watchers. So last year, when they were battling, when Jeff Sims had transferred in. When I first saw the ball come off Sims' hands, I mean, he can snap the ball down the field. And accuracy, and I know through, fall camp, there was quite a few more interceptions. And again, you're pushing, you're learning new receivers, you're pushing it. And again, you just see the talent there. And obviously being able to run the ball, yes, like you can with that speed, but I mean, the way he's been throwing the ball too, and like what Coach Arroyo said right there. I mean, you guys listen to what Coach Arroyo says. Like, it does say a lot about him. But again, progressions, reading it, and 3 different guys had touchdowns, 3 different receivers, 3 touchdowns, 3 different receivers. And like I said, I mean, really Brown and Justin said, well, I just had to get him the ball, and they made the plays, But some of it was downfield and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting because, Colorado defensively, and we'll get to more of that tomorrow as we get to more hockey too, because hockey's got Denver is in town tomorrow and Saturday, obviously, from NCHC foe. And we know Denver, obviously, always having these games circled on their calendar. So we'll get to that. But hockey-wise. But, yeah, I mean, for what Coach was saying, the Buffs – pretty much, they're going to be mad. They're going to get after you. And he goes, they play zone, mix it up, play zone. But like, you guys are not scared because they're basically saying, well, we know we can stop you. So, and again, as close as they've been in games, Colorado, like I said, they're 3-7, right? And it's not even about fake hyping it up, because I got some message yesterday. Oh, come on, they're 3-7. Guys, this is why you play games. This is late November. This is when crazy upsets happen if you overlook somebody. Now, especially, you can relate to the the 6 or 7 games I told you about in the SEC, where they're playing Samford and Mercer and just all these ridiculous schools that don't have the teams that don't have the depth they do before they play another game. That's why they schedule this non-conference, because they have a tough game coming up. Yeah, that's awesome. That's competition right there. So anyway, but I would love for all 7 of those schools to win. Oh my gosh, it would be. Oh, that would be phenomenal. It won't happen, but if it does, you can, I'll look for your messages on Monday. But that being said, for Colorado, like I said, it's not about overselling it, guys. They're a few plays away from being 7-3. Because the 3, some of the ones they did. In a few they got blown out, but they could have. It could be wins the other way. So I'm just again, it's going to be interesting. And yeah, Jordan Tyson. Look, we'll get into that tomorrow too. Why? He was aiming to get back for this, but he wants. He needs to be healthy. It's not just about getting back for CU where he started his career, but absolutely awesome. So, lastly, before we get out of here, remember, because we were talking volleyball, and I had said to you guys, there was in the standings last night, because I want to say Kansas lost last night. Yes, they are now. Kansas lost. They are 11-4. Colorado keeps having that extra game. I don't understand. Colorado has played 6. I don't get. Okay, how is this? This has been driving me nuts, and I should have looked at it before. But let's see. Okay, playing you see your Armstrong. Okay, so let's see. They played BYU. Yeah. Okay, so BYU. Oh, Northern Colorado's not in. So they had 10 right there, right? So yeah, BYU, Utah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then they played Northern Colorado. That's 10. And then Baylor's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh. Everybody will catch up because they play Cincinnati today. No, they play Cincinnati, tomorrow. And then they play BYU. So, yeah, that's why. They just had the extra game, and it's just kind of that long. And since there's really no buys in volleyball, as you guys know, that is why. But, yeah, so Kansas lost yesterday, guys. So when we look at the standings in and of itself, like I was doing, so ASU's 14-1, Colorado's 12-4, and Iowa State's 11-4, Kansas is 11-4. So yeah, basically with 3 more games left and Kansas losing. Now they said it'd be a share of the Big 12 title, and I will get confirmation on why it would be a share if you play the team and you beat them head to head. That's the most annoying thing to me. Absolutely most annoying freaking thing to me, because if I'm the other team, do I really want that? We didn't beat them. Okay, we beat other teams, and they whooped other teams too. So, and everybody plays everybody at least once. Sometimes you play somebody twice. But if you play once, it doesn't matter. That's what drives me crazy. So, but either way, forks up, because back-to-back Big 12 champs. They are focused on Houston, in which I'm sure they were traveling to today, because they had UCF and now Houston, who is 1-14 and at the bottom of the Big 12. They have lost 13 in a row. ASU does not want to be that team. Coach Van Neal, again, refuses to – I'm sure if he heard an inkling of West Virginia or Cincinnati talk, he would not say nice things in practice or not say nice things to that conversation. No, but I mean, look, this team's locked in, it's focused, and with Kansas losing Colorado, I mean, being 12-4, like I said, ASU would be, I mean, they could finish 14-4 because they have 3 left, but yeah, don't see that from these dominant women who are just, again, uber focused, playing the chemistry, just absolutely awesome. So, yeah, they beat Houston, and that's it. Yeah, they beat Houston, and they are Big 12 champs again. So they'll do it on the road, which, again, awesome, but we'll get to celebrate them when they get back and play West Virginia, Cincinnati. So that being said, but yeah, so I'm going to get out of here. Again, more hockey tomorrow. Denver is here, 7 p.m. tomorrow, 5 on Saturday. Women's hoops on Saturday at home. Yeah, I mean, obviously football at Colorado. Men's hoops in Hawaii tonight, 10 p.m. ESPN Plus. Yes, because it's only 7 p.m. in Hawaii. Pitchfork Lunchers. I know you know that. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. So I hope we quench some of that thirst. There's always more when it comes to Sun Devil Nation. I know that, and we will bring it to you. But yeah, tomorrow we'll hear from Sun Devil defensive coordinator Brian Ward ahead of Saturday's contest, and probably Coach Bobby Hurley too as well. Again, got to see, and possibly a guest, but again, we'll work it out. We'll see. We'll see if it does work out, because scheduling, of course, is always the funnest part. But anyway, you guys have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And you guys know it. Hashtag our state, thanks to reigning Big 12 champs and soon to be back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball for always reminding me of that. It is hashtag our state team down south. All right, we'll see how you start off basketball. But, when we own 90% of it, 99% of it, it's our state. Hashtag our state. So, and you guys know, as always, go Devils. But I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. And yes, don't forget, guys, as always, Forks out.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Farmer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. This defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
This one the other way. Still going back. That's the drag. What's up and down? Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.